You were the one who said that you thought I set my husband up. And then you said that you knew my husband and he was outside and all these things.
Okay, and but you were the one that said you're only with the Hawks so you can have easy access to the players because you all of them. Wow. Now to me, that's coming from my marriage.
You never did?
Please, support somebody. Yes, I would love. Bring them to me. You became relevant because of your last name because you
And married him.
Oh, wait.
And married him.
Angela. This was not the time nor the place to have this discussion, okay? Now, anybody who watches my channel know that I am an Angela fan. She's one of my faves. And I am definitely not a Shamia fan at all. But I will say I can call wrong when it's wrong and not be biased, okay? Angela, you dead wrong. This event was supposed to be about your mother, celebrating your mother. Why are we doing this here? And also, why are you making accusations about this woman's marriage with no receipts? You didn't like it when somebody played with your marriage last season, so why are you playing with this woman's marriage this season? Angela, girl, let's not do that. I still love you though, but please stop. Hey guys, welcome to my channel where I do weekly recaps of the Real Housewives franchise. That's right, I recap every city, every episode, every week. Today I'm here to recap the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 17, episode 12. But before I do so, if you happen to like this content, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons. Don't hesitate to leave a comment and make sure that you hit that notification bell so you can be updated whenever I release a new video. Alright guys, I know y'all like episode 12, girl. Episode 13 came more or less already. I know, this is a double recap. I'm super late. Last week I had a lot going on. I had a lot of technical difficulties last week going on. My internet was down. And yes, honey, I was having technical difficulties. I had to get my internet fixed, honey. It was a lot going on, okay? But also, it took a while because, right, I ordered some hair. This hair right here. This hair is Go Naked, all right? Go Naked. I never bought Go Naked, so I wanted to give it a try. And I must say, Portia, first impression, I'm loving it. It's giving soft. It's giving, like, no tangles, no shedding. It's definitely giving, all right? So I'll give y'all an update after I wore it for about a month or so and let y'all know how it holds up. But yes, these are bundles. I made a unit out of it. This is 4 bundles, but actually I didn't use all 4. I didn't have to use all 4. This is 3 and like a third of a bundle. It's 2 32-inch, a 30, and a 28. And I got a closure, a 2x6 closure. I got the band on right now because I didn't cut the closure yet. I didn't install it and customize it yet because I just made the unit yesterday. So I wanted to do my video, and I was like, I refuse to do another video wearing a hat. All right, so yes, get into the Go Naked, get into the 32 inches, honey, okay? Get into her, all right? But yes, let's get into this recap, honey. We start this episode off at the Oakley residence where we see Cynthia coming to visit Angela. So she comes to visit Angela. Angela got some food waiting for her, as she should. So they get to talking. Cynthia is telling Angela about her meetup with Shamia when Shamia came to Lake Bailey and how they was talking about the situation. And she got to hear Shamia's side of the story. And also, she said that Shamia has some issues going on. Her mom is having some health issues and she's dealing with that. And, she thought about it like Shamia is dealing with all of this. And she's not really getting help for it. So they start talking about how they think maybe she should seek therapy. And Angela's saying, yeah, maybe that's why she's the way she is because she's not getting help with none of these issues she's having. So Angela tells Cynthia about a basketball game she's having. It's like a charity basketball game that she's throwing. It's actually to celebrate her mom because we're coming up on a 1-year anniversary of her mom's death. So this is something she want to do because her mom was into basketball or whatever. And Charles is going to be a referee. And, and be involved. So Cynthia is like, you know what? Remember last season, Cynthia did the Bailey Bowl where they all did like that sports day with the families. So she's like, maybe we could collaborate. So they like, we could collaborate this and make this like a Bailey Angela event. So that's what they're going to do, and they're going to invite all the ladies, okay, in honor of Angela's mom. Next, we go over to Portia's mother's house, the one that she bought her mom that she's selling. Portia stops by with Pilar to visit her. And, you know, she lets us know that this is actually going to be her last time visiting her mom in this house because pretty much they got an offer already. You know, they're about to sell the house and go through it. She explains to us how it's a smart business decision because she has more equity in the house that she got won in a lawsuit from Simon. So she's going to sell this, make, I think, $1 million. I don't know how much, I forgot. I think I heard $1 million. And the other house has $3 million in equity. So she's making $1 million and she's keeping the $3 million in equity. So basically it's a smart business decision. Okay? I didn't really know the details, but based on what she's saying, I guess her financial advisor informed her that this was a smart business decision. And I'm all about making smart business moves. Okay? So she's telling her mom about the skate party that Pinky had and how they had a good time. All the girls came together. It was no drama. But then she's also telling her mom that her and Phaedra, while they were at the skate party, they announced to the ladies that they're planning a trip to Scotland. Because remember, Phaedra and Portia were both on the show The Traitors, which takes place in Scotland in a mansion. So they said they want to just basically bring that experience to the girls, that Traitors experience in Scotland. So they're planning a trip. They show a flashback back at the skate party when they announced it to the girls. So yeah, so she's also telling Diane about Dennis and when he came by and him giving the ring back. And I still don't understand why this is such a big deal. But now it's to my understanding he was giving this back to her because he wants to be back with her. And she's at a point where she's loving on herself. Like, she ain't got time for that. She ain't trying to be with nobody. She's trying to be all about Portia right now, okay? She wants to finish. She wants to, like, improve. She wants to work on her relationship with Portia. So, yeah. So, she's telling her mom about that. And, yeah, Miss Diana's just looking like, girl, we need to get you another boiler, okay? So I can eat pizza on his white couch. So the next thing we get is Kelly meeting up with her financial advisor. So she goes to meet up with him, and they're talking about her expenses, what she spends a month. First, she tells him, he asks her how much she brings in a month from her businesses. She lets him know that her Nana's Chicken and Waffles, the original McDonough location, that brings in about $75K a month. But the new location in Sandy Springs is like maybe $15K a month, and that's on the high end for a good month. So he asks her what her expenses are, how much she's spending a month and what. So she lets us know, she broke it down, and I wrote everything down, honey. So her Rolls Royce is $2,000 a month. She pays $600 for insurance a month. That's not bad, girl. Beauty, $2,500 a month on beauty. Hair, $3,000 a month. Ooh, child. Clothes, $8.5K a month. And Cha-Cha's wigs, $500 a month. I'm like, yeah, Kelly, you is living beyond your means, honey. You spending a little too much money. What the hell? How much clothes you need to wear? And based on what you be wearing, honey, it look like you could look better for half that price, okay? Based on what you've been wearing. So yeah, so the man is basically letting her know, you need to tone it down. You need to, you need to be more responsible with your money. And she's like, oh, yes, you are a very aggressive man. He was like, I've been told, but right now I'm your financial advisor. I'm not your friend, pretty much. So, Kelly, he's telling you, get that shit together, sis. Get it together. But you know what, Kelly? I can appreciate the fact that you're even discussing this on camera. And you got us all up in your business about your finances, girl. This is real shit, all right? No matter what, you going through it right now. And you know what? It made me look at you like, you know what, Kelly? I respect you for that. Now, I want to see you win. I want to see you get through this. I'm invested in your come up, okay? Next up, we go to Nip and Tuck Plastic Surgery, where K. Michelle is meeting with her plastic surgeon. She's still talking about these butt shots she got, the silicone. She still want to make her butt bigger. She still want to do things to her butt. She's still not happy with the body she was given by God. But always talking about somebody else. Always talking about how somebody else look, but ain't happy with how she look. You know what? Not for nothing. It's to a point when they show K. Michelle singing, I'm sitting here rolling my eyes. This is where it's time to go make me a drink, all right? But yeah, she met up with him. He told her he don't think she need to do anything else. And at this point, girl, I'm over. You talk about somebody else. You talk about everybody else. You talk about Drew talking about the same storyline. Girl, you've been talking about this since the 2000s. All we ever hear from you is about what you went through on Love and Hip Hop, your botched butt job, and your country album that ain't never come out and ain't never coming out. Okay? And you got the nerve to be coming for somebody else. It's like every accusation is a confession. Anyway, child. Next, we go back over to the Oakley residence. We get a few scenes at the Oakley residence this season, all right? This episode, we was back and forth between Angela House and Portia House, honey, okay? So we got Angela and her oldest daughter, Amari. They're chilling, they're having wine. So they're going to sit down and talk. So Angela is telling Amari how she felt like she wants Amari to tell the kids about her being married. And Amari feel like that's none of their business. Why does she need to tell them that? And Angela feels like Amari wants to keep one foot in and one foot out. Like she wants to still be spoiled, but at the same time, she also want to be grown. And they start to go back and forth because this is triggering for Amari. Amari feels like, you know, she feel like she always kept things secret. Like she don't feel like that's something she needs to explain to them. That's her business. And Amari gets her own confessional and she ate that dress, sis. Amari looked good. I was like, this is a beautiful young lady. She ate. Amari, you ate that confessional look down, sis. I'm going to give it to you. But yeah, so they asking her, do you think if she was married to a man, it would be easier? And she was like, yeah, because that's more worldly accepted, whitely accepted. So people see that and accept it. But when you're with the same sex, it's something that's like looked down upon. So it's harder to talk about. So Angela is just telling her like, girl, like, no, I think you're spoiled. I think you're like pretty much entitled. And like, it's, you know, basically Angela wants her to tell her kids. And she felt like, you know, that's her place to tell the kids. You can tell this is really bothering Amari because as they're talking, her leg is shaking, her feet is shaking. She's starting to cry. And this is something I noticed last season when they was talking about her situation as well. She's emotionally manipulative. Okay, she starts throwing on the waterworks. Whenever she don't want to talk about something, she's going to start getting emotional and pretending to cry so Angela can ease off and leave it alone. I noticed that about her. She's very emotionally manipulative. So she didn't want to talk about this no more. So now Angela is telling her, like, you know, I think you're spoiled and you're entitled. So she's like, all right, then forget it. I just won't come around no more. I'll stay away. And she's like, no, I'm not saying that or whatever. So mind you, while they doing this, the son, Avon, is eavesdropping from the top of the steps the whole time. He heard the whole conversation. So I'm like, girl, if you was trying to keep this a secret, now he knows that you're married because y'all arguing about it right there. And he was listening like, what? So she leaves, she ends up leaving, and Angela is just like kind of regretting saying it to her, but at the end of the day, it needed to be said. So I was like, ooh, all right, Amari, you see what you give, honey. She is a manipulator, okay? Next, we go on over, we get a quick montage, actually. First, we go over to, I'm not saying enough, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, Inner Studios. We see K. Michelle, she's there with her manager. Then we go over to Willie A. Watkins' funeral home. Paige is there with Willie. Then we see Diella, who's Pinky and Derek's daughter. She's doing like some type of Milano function or a photo shoot. I don't know what's going on. And then we see Shamir with her mom and her nail tech. And they're talking about the upcoming Scotland trip, and they're reminding Shamir to make sure she take a carry-on because remember last season her luggage got lost and she had to wait for like the next day to get her stuff and she ain't had no clothes. She had to borrow clothes from Portia, but now her and Portia ain't cool like that, so, and you can't fit Kelly clothes, honey, okay? So she's talking to them about Scotland, and then she tells them about Angela's event coming up. because Angela by now has called all the girls to invite them to her basketball game, and she's saying how, you know, her and Angela had their problems, but she understands that this is a celebration of her mom, so she don't want to come and bring that energy. She want to come on good terms and not, you know, try to do that at this event. Now, Shamia, you came with the right intentions, but unfortunately, Angela chose violence. So next we go over to Portia's house. Like I told y'all, we back and forth between Angela and Portia's house this episode, honey. So Drew coming to visit, and Portia got some chicken wings for them. So they sitting there and they chatting some good old chicken wings, honey. So they're talking. Drew was asking her what's going on, because this is around the time Simon was going in online on her. And apparently, he got them to take away her Nigeria residency, like, so she can't, like, basically can't take residency in Nigeria no more. But she's like, but she can still visit, so why does she need residency? Therefore, she can still visit whenever she wants. So she's like, Simon is just doing the most. And she lets Drew know that pretty much, girl, every time he go in on me and go online, whenever I go viral, Go Naked make a lot of money. When he did that thing about that, Go Naked made $50,000 that day. So honey, keep it coming, all right? Keep my bank account full. So she's like, speaking of Go Naked, she has she wants to get Drew and start this wig line. It's out already, so this is when it started. She's letting Drew know she got a wig line for Cynthia, but she saw a new line of wigs that's giving Drew, and she want to name this the Drew, like make this the Drew Siberia line of wigs, and she wants that, you know, she says that she wants to empower Drew, you know, she feel like Drew is going through it right now with Rob, so she wants to give her that empowerment, like make her be the face of this, and this is her own wig line named after her. So Drew was like, oh, for real, what a difference a year makes. Because remember last year, Portia was calling her a low-down individual, dirty individual. She ain't working with Go Naked no more, but now we back, we good, okay? So Drew says she, you know, she got a new manager, so they gonna hook up, put it through her manager, but Drew's being kind of cautious this time because, you know, she wanted just to make sure everything is good. She don't want no more problems. So now, mind you, as they eating the chicken wings, Portia like, girl, you don't even know how to eat no chicken wings. Give me your black card back. So Drew like, what you mean? So Portia gives this girl a demonstration on how to eat the chicken wings. She's like, you twist it. And I don't know why this was so funny to me, because it was at one point where Drew was like, oh, she grabbed the bone, and Drew was like, oh, you eat that too? And she was like,
Twist it a little bit. Hey, no, okay, we're gonna get you to eat chicken wings. Just for teaching purposes. Take this one bone. Oh, you break the bone apart? Oh, it's that word. All right. Period. Ain't no damn period. Look at that meat. Look at all that. That is gristle. You need to eat that. My African brothers and sisters.
I don't know why this is so funny to me, but I love this part. It was just, I love Portia for this. Like, we all can say what we want to say about Portia, but I love Portia for just being so just down to earth and so fucking real and not care, like. And then at the point, the funny part is when she was like, look, you got all that meat on the bone. And Drew was like, that's gristle. She was like, you gotta eat that. Yes, Portia. Give her that, but school the girls, okay? That's one thing I love about the Atlanta girls and the Potomac girls, honey. They are baddies, baby, but they don't mind eating. They will eat a big buffet and not give a damn. You know, you know Beverly Hills girls be getting a quick little salad. You got Tamara be eating dry chicken, grilled chicken. Honey, no. These Atlanta girls, they want some seasoning, they want some sauce, okay? They ain't got all that ass for nothing. You better feed the girls, honey, all right? So now we go over to Kelly's prospective rental property. She's meeting up with her realtor to show her a property. Now, when she showed her the property, this was cute. It was 3 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 3,500 square feet. It had an elevator. It had 4 levels or whatever. And Kelly is letting us know that she appreciates Shamia, you know, looking out for her. But, you know, it's time to move on. That was temporary. She's ready to move on now. And I respect that. So they're asking for $7K a month for this place. So she asked the realtor, like, keep it real with me. Can I afford this? And the realtor's like, well, I'm gonna keep it $1,000 with you because that's all I can do. And the realtor it was like, baby, you're gonna have to struggle and suffer for a little while. You know, you're going through a lot right now. You're trying to get your finances up. You also, you know, she said her goal is to purchase next year. So she's telling Kelly, like, it's best for you to save right now and just struggle for a little while and save so that by next year she could purchase her home. So Kelly's gonna take that advice, and I feel like this was some good advice. I'm glad the realtor kept it real with her and then gaslight her and make her think that she can do it all when she can't, okay? Next we go back over to the Oakley residence, honey. So now we got Angela and Amari. They having some more wine. I said, okay, these bitches love some wine, okay? This is a mother-daughter wine team, all right? So they're about to have a virtual therapy with their therapist. So they do the therapy. And I think this is the same therapist that she sees with Charles, if I'm not mistaken. So they do the therapy session. Amari explains that things are kind of harder now that the mom, Angela's mom, who is Amari's grandmother, passed away, because the grandmother was like the mediator. She was like the middleman. She was the one that like worked things out between them. So it's kind of hard not having her. They're both still mourning her loss, and it's taking a toll on them. So the therapy gives them some, you know, therapeutic words or whatever. And, you know, they end up holding each other's hands or looking into each other's eyes or whatever. And they're going to keep up with the therapy. Cute little session. But yeah, I was like, these girls love some wine, honey. So the final scene of the episode takes place at Brand X Fitness. And this is actually my favorite scene of the episode. I'm a let me cook a little bit. None of y'all mess with my fresh and my style. I'ma spit it up anytime I see you try. Everybody is waiting on replies. Pull up, me fluff a little bit. Itty, bitty, mighty, mo. They don't pick me all the time for sure.
The Bailey Bowl, Maggie Madness. Oh, God. So Angela and Charles arrived. The event is called Maggie Madness because her mother's name was Maggie, so Maggie Madness. And then being that she collaborated with Cynthia, it's basically called the Bailey Ball and Fangie. Because you know the Bailey Ball, and then she got her Fangie line. So I was like, all right, that's a cute little collab, all right? So now Cynthia arrives with her man LaPrince, honey. Then we got Pinky and Derek. They arrived with, she arrives with her BFF and some guys, some real big boys, honey. Everybody's arriving with their team. She said we coming heavy with it, no pun intended, because she has some heavy boys with her, honey. So we see everybody showing up with their team. Kelly arrives with her team. Kelly got on heels. I don't know what she was doing on the basketball court with heels. First of all, they were like, get this bitch off the court, but she scuffed the motherfucking court. But she just scuffed the floor. All right, that hardwood floor. Phaedra arrives with her, and Phaedra got Apollo's son Trey with her. Apollo, other son that he just recently did, the one that looked just like him, maybe even finer. Yes, honey, Trey looked fine. Apollo was fine. I was like, Apollo fine, but baby, Trey is finer. Yes, honey, okay? So now, Shamia arrives with her team. Drew and company arrived. She got her little, you know, her ratchet team with her. Portia comes with Mike. She's like, I ain't got no team, but Mike want to have one of his boys with him. So she's like, I feel a little insecure. Plus, I'm elderly. So everybody arrives with their teams or whatever. So now, Cynthia gets on the 1 and 2s, and she's introducing everybody to the second annual Bailey Ball. So she says a few words, and then they give the team names. Everybody got a team name for their team, and they get to playing ball. But as they're playing ball, they're all strategizing or whatever. So Kelly got wine and stuff for her team, and we see Pinky and her team strategizing. Because mind you, Pinky got some real big boys with her. Mind you, when they first came, Charles going shade them. It was like, y'all came to play basketball or y'all came to try out for the Bears. Y'all
play basketball, y'all on top of the Bears.
Charles, thank you so much for giving us the best shade this episode. Why would you shade them like that? So Angela was like, do they have like a, a heavyweight division with this basketball? He was like, nah, no. We ain't gonna be feeding up oranges and apples on the court. He was talking about the body, weight, height to weight ratio and all that, yeah. I was like, Charles is a mess. So now as Pinky and her team is they're strategizing, she asked them, so what's the safe word going to be? And one of them was like, help! This was the funniest part of the episode.
It's our secret code word.
Help.
Congratulations, Pinky Peoples, for giving us the funniest moment of this episode. So now, like I said, they get their team names, so they play ball now. So they play ball, they playing, Angela's team ends up winning. Charles said Shamia came, she wasn't ready to play. I reminded him of when she used to host for the Hawks or whatever. He was like, he thinks it's something going on between Shamia and Angela. He could tell there's something going on there. So anyway, Angela's team, Team Fangie, ends up winning. So Cynthia, they just like, I think it's wild crazy. Cynthia was like, I think it's wild how Angela won her own tournament. It's giving Donald Trump winning his own golf tournament, okay? Yes, it was your tournament and you won. Yeah, we get it. So now, Cynthia's letting them know they got some tacos and slushies for them. So mind you, when in confessional, Angela and Charles, why she gonna say Charles like, you never won a championship, so I had to bring it home. You play basketball all these years, you ain't never bring home a championship, so I had to bring it home for us. So he went to go give her a kiss, and she's like, nah, I don't want no kiss. I was like, oh. He was like, all right, remember that now, remember that. And one of the person behind the camera was like, last year you was begging her for a kiss.
I don't want it.
Remember that one?
Give me a kiss.
Wasn't it a kiss? Another kiss.
Congratulations to the person behind the camera for giving us the best read this episode. Not begging for a kiss. You getting brand new Angela Charles, like, all right, remember that now, okay? So, and also, Charles is funny. I love their banter because it was the part when they first started playing, Angela fell. I don't know how she fell. The bitch just slipped and fell forward. So Charles was like, she was like, you ain't even come help me. He was like, if you was there for more than 30 seconds, I would have ran over there faster than Superman. She was like, I was down for more than 30 seconds. He was like, oh, I have my cape. I love the banter this season. I love it. So now they do the tacos and slushies. So everybody gathers around, the ladies gather around to talk because now it's time to be messy. So now Angela decides this is the time she want to bring up the situation behind Shamia, how Shamia is saying how she's talking about her marriage when Shamia is the one that says she be seeing Charles outside and all this and that. And Shamia had something about, Angela said that Shamia said she was coming for her marriage, but Shamia always was coming for her marriage, so she don't understand why she talk about her husband. And so they start going back and forth about that. So Shamia is like, oh, you said I was sleeping with the Falcons and the Hawks and the Braves or whatever. What's the teams? I don't know what. Anyway, but yeah, she was like, but you the one that you go sleep with basketball players and athletes or whatever. That's what you do or whatever. Basically trying to insinuate Angela wanted to score a basketball player. Like, I guess, like, I don't know what she was insinuating. Basically saying Angela is the one that fucks basketball players. And Angela's like, yes, and married him too. And he married me pretty much, bitch. Like, yeah, he fucked, and he married me. So Shamia is basically trying to insinuate, like, I guess you gave it up to the basketball player. I guess hoping to land a basketball player. I don't know what she was trying to say. Even Phaedra was saying to K. Michelle, like, ain't that how it works? Like, you fuck, you get married? Like, hello? Like, yeah, I didn't really get what Shamia was going with that and what she was trying to say. So they're going back and forth. Drew pipes up and says something when they said something about Angela was saying how Shamia is the reason why. Shamia keeps saying she broke up the reason. Something about Portia came up, and basically Drew was saying that I don't even have a problem with Shamia. Whenever the only problem is every time Shamia have a problem with me over Portia or whatever. So yeah, I don't know how Portia gets in it. So now Shamia and Drew start going back and forth about their last meetup and how Drew was like, because Pinky said to everybody, you know, girls, like, you know, we all good, everybody good. So the ladies are trying to simmer things down now. And she's like, you know, Drew and Shamia, y'all good? So Drew was like, I don't have a problem with Shamia. Shamia just doing too much. So Shamia was like, I tried to talk, and Drew said, when I tried to talk to her, she ran away. I don't have time. Shamia was like, I left because you was calling me a lapdog and being rude. And Drew was like, yes, because that's what you was giving. So they're like, who lap was she on now? Drew like, So Portia like, my lap tired. Portia, girl, they not talking about you. They was talking about K. Michelle, how being on K. Michelle lap. So then Pinky was like, so everybody good? So she was like, Shamia, you and Kay, y'all good? So Shamia was like, wait a minute, what's wrong with me and Kay? Why wouldn't we be good? Mind you, Pinky and Kay had that conversation where Kay told her, Shamia kept telling her how everybody's telling her not to be her friend, and it was bothering Kay. So Pinky is just like, no, I just feel like the energy is off. Something is off with the energy. I could sense energy. So they all like, I don't know what you mean, like, what you saying? And Pinky is like, yeah, she knows that it's some off energy that's given off energy. So they all like, I don't know. So Angela and Shamia still trying to go at it. So at this point, Phaedra is like, Angela, you know, we here to celebrate your mom. We glad we did this. Let's keep it about that. So everybody's like, all right. So they all thank her. She thanks all of them for coming and supporting her. So they all do a group hug. So they all got to do a group hug. And Shamia is looking like, this is fake. This is all fake. Like, everybody want to hug and act like everything is all good. And everybody want to attach themselves to other people's problems and take on other people's issues and make it their issue. Like, so now she's the victim. She's like, I know I did things, but I don't like this feeling of feeling like I'm on an island. And sometimes it just makes me not want to be a part of the friend group. Well, girl, do us all a favor and just leave the show, honey. Leave the group, okay? Go work on getting married. Work on giving Gerald that boy before he tell you done. Anyway, though, but yeah, so that's how the episode ended. Shamia, I don't feel sorry for you at all, okay? Sorry, you're not the victim. You always want to be the victim. You throw stones and hide your hands. But at the same time, I feel like Angela shouldn't be making these accusations about you without no receipts. Like, sorry, I'm not doing that. We're not going to play with people's marriages without solid proof, okay? But overall, this episode was okay. I appreciated getting the whole Angela and Amari of it all. I did appreciate that. But this was an average episode, so I'm going to have to give this episode, I'm going to give it a C. I'm going to give it a C. They had fun or whatever. I'm going to give it a C minus, to be honest with you. C minus. Tell me what you guys think of the episode. Am I being harsh with my scoring? Okay, the MVP of the episode, Angela. Yes, you did. Okay. What do you guys think? Did I get it right? What's up? Okay. If you happen to like this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons. Leave a comment if you want, alright? Like I said, this is going to be a double recap, so bear with me. I'll be back on track by next week, okay? Because now Rhode Island is over, so I only got to worry about Atlanta. But then starting next week, Orange County starts and Big Brother. So I'll be doing Orange County, Atlanta, and Big Brother. So my plate will be full. And then in August, we got the Ultimate Girls Trip, Roaring 20s. Yeah, it's going to be a lot going on this summer, guys. So, baby, I hope y'all here for the ride. Like, subscribe if you ain't already subscribed. And make sure that you hit that notification bell so when I drop my double recap for Real Housewives of Rhode Island, Reunion Parts 1 and 2, I will also be doing my season report card where I'll be grading the ladies and giving out awards, okay? So, I hope you all had a good weekend. Happy Pride to everyone that celebrates. Today is Monday, June 29th, and I hope you all have a great week. Bye.
So used to have the dairy here. I don't left the guy yesterday.
Well, the ladies have touched down in Scotland, and Miss Oakley packed her lies with her luggage, and she flew them with her to Scotland from Atlanta. Yes, honey, Angela girl, I love you, but baby, okay, you starting to come off as a liar, sis, and I don't know, okay? I'm watching you, sis. Hey guys, welcome to my channel where I do weekly recaps of the Real Housewives franchise. That's right, I recap every city, every episode, every week. Today I'm here to recap the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 17, episode 13. Before I do so, if you happen to like my recap, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons. If you want to leave a comment, go for it. Also, make sure that you hit the notification bell so whenever I drop new content, you will get an alert. All right, guys, so this is part 2 of the double recap. Now, I noticed when I went back and listened to the first part of episode 12, I noticed I had my fan on in the background because it was pretty warm in here, so I had the fan on. And I noticed in the video, you can hear it in the background, and it was pretty loud. Like, you hear, like, the buzzing of the fan in the background. And it was annoying, but by the time I realized it, I done recorded the whole video. And I was like, I am not about to do this whole video over, honey. They're going to have to just hear it or fast forward it to episode 13, whatever you're going to do. But, yeah, sorry about that, guys. So now the fan is off, all right? It's warm, but I'm okay. But, yeah. Let's get into it, guys. So we start the episode off at the airport where the ladies are meeting up to fly. It looks like they flew JetBlue. They get there, they arrive in Scotland. In Scotland, it's about 20 degrees cooler than it is in Atlanta, and it's raining in Scotland, all right? So they're right into where they're gonna be staying. We got 3 different cars. In car 1, we got frickin' Frack along with Cynthia. Car 2, we have Kay, Michelle, Shamia, and Kelly. And in car 3, we have Angela, Drew, and Pinky. All right, so they all riding. They're all excited. They're, wondering what it's going to be like. They're in Scotland. They never been there before, so they like, what's good? So they arrive to where they're going to be staying. The place they're going to be staying is called the Gilmerton House. And this was built in 1650. It houses 20 guests. It has 10 bathrooms and 10 bedrooms. So it's a huge place. It's the perfect place if you got a whole bunch of friends. If y'all want to go that's the perfect place to go. If you happen to be in Scotland, okay? So remember, Phaedra and Portia been here before from the Traders. And Phaedra was sure to let us know that she actually did better on Traders than Portia. Her experience was legendary, honey. She lasted for 10 episodes and Portia only lasted 1, okay? So when they arrived, you got a woman up on a balcony. She's playing a bagpipe. Cynthia thought it was a banjo, but they in Scotland, honey. That's a bagpipe. So when they get out, Shamia's dancing, and Portia dancing. So Shamia's in her confessional dancing. I don't know what it is about Shamia that is just so corny to me. It's like she keeps trying to make fetch happen, and it's like, girl, it's never gonna happen, okay? So now, while they go into the house, frickin' Frack, they go get a tour while the other girls go to sit and eat. So, we see Portia and Phaedra, the man is taking them around. That's some guy who's from TikTok. He's popular. They said he kind of looked like a Scottish version of Sterling K. Brown, the actor. And they were saying he was attractive. And Kay Michelle was like, oh, he's an attractive African-American male. So the lady behind the camera was like, did you say African-American? He's Scottish. She was like, child, we all the same. So now the ladies, they sitting at the table. They got some champagne and they chatting while Portia and Shamia get the tour for them. So they asked Shamia, Pinky how the movie's going, and Pinky lets them know that it's almost done, and Shamia will be playing Trina in the show. So what she's saying is Angela was looking like she was jealous. Angela was looking like, so Angela was like, Pinky, we should all get a cameo in this for everybody. And Pinky looking like, in her confessional, she was like, listen, you could catch it on whatever it's going to be streaming on, but we got what we need. Thank you. Have a good day, okay? Like, no thank you. So they're sitting there talking. Kelly shares that Phaedra is representing her because I think Kelly was saying how Phaedra should play the lawyer in the movie, in the show, and Pinky was like, oh, because she's representing you. Your lawyer now. So, you know, Kelly is sharing with them how Phaedra is looking out for her and representing her now. Drew asks her, you know, I heard you move. What's up with that? And she's letting them know about the move, how that went along with the neighbor and all that. So Cynthia lets her know, girl, I know you're going through a lot or whatever, but we here for you. I just want you to know, if you need us, we here, you can call us. And Kelly was like, thanks, I appreciate the offer, but honestly, I feel like if I was to do that and get vulnerable and open up to y'all, when we get into it, it will be thrown back at me or whatever. So yeah, she don't feel comfortable doing all that. So Angela is like, listen, I don't know, you feel like that because out of everybody, I'm the one who's the least represented. Nobody defends me here. I always have to go things on my own. Nobody is stepping up in my defense. So Kelly was like, please, you got somebody to defend you all the time. And she like, who? Drew, yeah. So Drew was like, listen, I'll defend her, but I don't really speak up for her like that. I just feel like we have each other back, but you know, at the same time, we let each other do what we gotta do, which is true. They hold each other down, but not as much as Kelly be trying to jump in her friends' fights. So now, her and Shamia, Angela and Shamia now, they're rehashing the cause of their issues because remember they had the big fallout when they had the argument when they tried to meet up. So now Angela is bringing up Nashville when they were in Nashville, and remember when Portia said she gonna fuck Charles and Angela went and approached them by the pool. So somehow in Nashville, Shamia was saying stuff about Charles too, about she don't know Angela, basically putting stuff out there about Charles being out there, whatever, cheating. So they're going back and forth about that. So Shamia is saying how, well, I had two people at my job come up to me and approach me asking me, what's up with you and Angela? Angela's like, girl, I don't know what you talking about. Like, nobody ain't approached you or whatever. Shamia was like, yes, you're talking about me to people. So they going back and forth. So nobody really know what they're talking about. But it turns out, apparently, Angela has been talking to somebody and there was some guy named George that they show him. He does, I don't know if he a lawyer, crash for cash or something like that. Anyway, apparently George said to Angela that he paid Shamia. And Shamia was like, yeah, he contributed to my charity last year. They showed a flashback of him writing a check for Shamia or whatever. So Angela is like, no, when he said it to me, he said it, yeah, she's so fine, I had to pay for it. So she's insinuating that Shamia slept with this man named George. So they're going back and forth about that. Shamia pulls out her phone to say something about Angela, and she had a picture of Angela's feet. Like, she had on some boots, some like, kind of like army boots with some like pants, plaid pants or whatever. And she was like, learn how to make your pants meet your shoes. And I was like, huh, why do you have a picture of her shoes? Like, when she was standing there, you took a picture? Like, that is so cringe. Shamia is so cringe, like, for real. Like, you really saved this picture to bring it up when y'all was going back and forth? Like, girl, anyway. So they're going back and forth. Angela is claiming that George said he paid for her. So she's like, did you sleep with him? So they're going back and forth about that. And Shamia feel like Angela is the cause of a lot of the problems in the group. And Cynthia is like, well, some of us feel like that way about you too. So Cynthia says, Shamia, we feel like when you good, everybody that hangs around you is good, but when you're not good, it seems like they're not good either. Basically as if when you have the issue, it's their issue too. So Shamia is like, no, she don't think that. And Cynthia is just telling her, like, I see you as you're the one who can bring everybody together. Shamia's like, for real? And in her confession, she was like, Cynthia, ain't that your job? The friend that straddles the fence? Or, you know, are you on, chose your side now? So now, Kate, she feels like it's a double standard. She felt like if they would have said that about accused anybody else at the table of cheating on their husband, it would have been a big issue. But now that it's Shamia, it's okay. And you know what? I don't care much for Shamia, but Kay, you might be onto something there, yeah, because when it comes to Shamia, the girls pay her dust. But I think it's because of Shamia, how Shamia carries herself and the things she does that make people be like, okay? So anyway, So now everyone is gonna go to their room because they're gonna have dinner late. Because by now, Phaedra and Portia come back and let them know that dinner is not gonna be there. They're gonna go out for dinner, but they got time to get ready, so they want everybody to go relax, let's chill, and then get ready for dinner later. So that's what they do. So now when they go to their room, Shamia is talking to Kelly and Pinky, and as she's talking, she gets a text from the guy George's wife. Her name is Ashley. And Ashley is texting Shamia that Angela is lying. She's like, call me so we can talk because Angela is lying. So as she's showing Pinky and Kelly her receipts, Angela overhears it. And Angela's like, she showed you what? What's up? So Shamia's like, get out my room and close the door on her face. Angela's like, open the door, how? If you gonna say something, say it to my face. So Kelly like, oh, Bigfoot wanna come in your room because she's knocking on the door. I was like, Kelly, so you always getting involved, but then when you get bopped, you gonna play the victim. Shamia like, get away from my door, Sasquatch. Angela like, keep my name out your mouth. You gonna talk about me? What she called the Shahora, or whatever. Pinky said that sound like a country. So yeah. Pinky came out and tried to calm Angela down. Angela was mad because she caught Kelly peeking through the door. And she's like, peekaboo, I see you. So yeah, pretty much Shamia has receipts. So now Portia and Phaedra come to Shamia's room. And by now, Portia done took her wig off, honey. She got on her hat. She got on her ball cap under her hat. And Portia is pretty much giving, damn, I just wanted to take my wig off, scratch my braids, take my bra off and relax. They got drama. So now she goes to Shamia's room where Shamia is showing her the texts and saying, when you put something out there like that, without proof, a lie spreads. But then by the time, the lie outpaces the truth. So Portia's like, you know what, I'm going to go let Shamia know. I'm going to go let Angela know it's over. We're going to stop. So Portia and Phaedra goes to Angela's room and they like, listen, we told her that it's going to stop. We're going to leave it alone. That's it. So Angela is basically like, fuck that. I'm going to call Ashley right now. So she called the girl Ashley. So Ashley is like, yeah. She like, Ashley, what's going on? Ashley is like, yeah, Phaedra is saying how you was asking me things about you, and I told her I don't know. So Angela is like, well, no, the girl said that Shamia is telling her that Angela is accusing her of sleeping with her husband. And Angela is like, Shamia told the girl Ashley that Angela told her that Ashley told her she thought Shamia was sleeping with her husband. And Ashley is like, and I didn't tell you that. Angela was like, I never said you told me that. I said it. I never said you told me that. So then Angela was like, we never spoke about sex. Were you saying you and Ashley never spoke about sex, or you and Shamia spoke about sex because you just finished accusing her of sleeping with the man? So then she's just like, listen, the girl was like, listen, you asked me if I had anything on her, and I told you I don't know. So Angela's like, thank you, Ashley. So I'm like, it seems to me like, Angela, you are being caught in a lie, and the girl is calling you out and want to know why are you adding her in your lies. So yeah, mind you, frickin' Frack was sitting right there, so they witnessed the whole thing. So they see like, yeah, something ain't right. So basically, she's letting them know, I never told Shamia that Ashley told me that. I said it. I'm the one who said it based on what George told me about the whole conversation about the money. So George never said he slept with Shamia. She's just assuming because he said he paid for it. But yeah, listen, no receipts. As far as I'm concerned, I can't take it. So now, Phaedra is they're going to get ready for dinner soon. So Phaedra's on a FaceTime with the chef, and he's letting them know he's expecting them or whatever. So they all get together, they meet up for dinner. So they go ride to dinner in 3 different cars again. Now in car 1, we got Frick, Frack, and Angela. In car 2, we got Cynthia, Drew, and Kelly. And car 3, we got Pinky, Kay, and Shamia. So in each car, they're all talking about what just transpired. Shamia has her receipts. Angela is still saying about her lie, but she's like, I'm glad y'all was there to witness it. So now she's telling Shamia and Portia about she's in the car with frickin' Frack. She's telling Portia and Phaedra how Shamia said something to her daughter at the game, at the basketball game, and they're like, for real, what? So she was like, yeah, she said something to my daughter, and my daughter was like, oh, she laughed about it, but you know, it was uncomfortable. She was confused. So they're like, uh-oh, so yeah. So now they arrive at dinner. The restaurant they're going to is called the Bonnie Badger. And this dinner scene was actually my favorite scene of the episode.
Welcome to the Bonnie Badger.
So yes, the restaurant is named the Bonnie Badger. Pinky asked the man what that means. He said Bonnie is Scottish for pretty, and Badger is like wild game, sort of like a skunk. So she was like, oh, where y'all get that name from? But she said, I can't judge because we had THC when we came up with the name Slutty Vegan. So yeah, they sit down. So while they're sitting down, because car 3 was the first car to arrive, the car with Pinky, Shamia, and K. Michelle. So Pinky is like, before the girls get here, I'm glad we here so we can talk. So Pinky wants to know what's going on. No, Shamia wanted to talk. She wants to approach Pinky by asking her at the game last episode, was her and K good? She felt like, why did you do that in front of everybody? Like, I don't need you asking me that in front of people. You see I'm beefing everybody. So she felt the way about it. So Pinky is saying, based on what K told me, you know, and Shamia was like, well, I don't understand why you spoken up for her. And Kate was like, because I was hurt. What you said hurt me. Pretty much, you sitting here telling me all the people you mess with don't want to be friends with me. So that got to me. By the time I left, I was crying. So in her confession, K. Michelle was like, she's Shamia friend. She fucks with Shamia, but Shamia always reminds her and keeps letting her know that what it cost her for her to be her friend, pretty much. Like, she's lost so much being her friend. So, you know, Shamia apologized and says, I apologize for that. I didn't mean to do that. So now the other girls arrive. Phaedra lets them know that the chef told her that they're going to have a tour of everything Scottish. So Pinky is like, ooh, take me to Malcolm X Boulevard. And here go Kelly like, ooh, do they got chitlins? So Phaedra in her confessional hit us with the best shade of the episode.
The chef called me to just basically tell him, we are going to have a tour of everything Scotland. Oh, yes.
Take me to Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Come on now. Are chitlins on the menu? I guess when you eat processed vegan burgers all day and fried chicken and waffles, your palate does not require much.
Thank you, Phaedra, for giving us the best shade of the episode. Processed vegan burgers, chicken and waffles, honey. You shaded both of their businesses, girl. So now they get to talking about, we find out actually that Pinky and Portia had conjured up a plan at the basketball game where Pinky was supposed to be getting Kay and Shamia together to talk, and Portia's supposed to be getting Drew and Shamia together to talk. But apparently Portia didn't hold up her end of the bargain because there was a lot going on. She didn't get a chance to. But Pinky and Shamia, and Pinky just got Shamia and Kay to talk before all the other girls arrived. So she was like, how y'all think that conversation went? So it's just like, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, pretty much. Like, Shamia is like, you know, she kind of don't want to talk about this for anybody. You could tell. So now, Kelly, she thanks Phaedra for her services. She's telling Phaedra, I thank you so much for your services and all that. So when she's saying it, why Angela gonna shade her in her confessional, gonna talk about some, you know how much legal services cost, honey? Kelly is being sued from the east to the west, to the north, to the south, honey, okay? I give a speech too. Yes, I was like, Angela, leave her alone. Let her get her free legal services, okay? So now Shamia asks about Sway, and she's like, how's Sway doing? And Portia's like, she's cool. So Kelly asks her, you know, if she thinks that if you think you could actually, can you see yourself settling down with a woman? Portia's like, I don't know. You know, before I always saw myself as having a husband with a family and all that. But now I'm like, child, please. I pay my own bills. I could do what I want to do, like, pretty much. Now she has a change of heart or whatever. So now Pinky reveals to them that she was in a 3-year relationship with a woman. And they looking like, for real? Baby, I was like, huh? And it just, in my mind, it was just giving me...
What about your lesbian relationship, bitch? What about your lesbian relationship going on?
So now that all the girls is making jokes in their confessionals alluding to her having a woman in the basement, Kelly said next time she going straight to the basement, honey. But she better have a camera in case it's a cage out there, say. They was like, she not going to escape the Rubens, honey. So now, Cynthia asks if anyone else has been with a woman. Drew reveals that she had threesomes with Ralph, but you know, she did it to please him. And Pinky was like, but you didn't like it. And she was like, yeah, I can't see myself with just the woman like that. And they saw flashbacks to last season with her alleged affair with Ty and Ralph accusing her of being with a woman. Or, yeah, I don't know. Drew, the lies.
The lies. There you go. This bitch, I'm telling you. Trifling.
So now Cynthia, she reveals that she kissed a woman a few years ago, and Portia was like, oh yeah, that was me, pretty much. And they showed the flashback of when they kissed. And Portia was like, you know, her kiss was kind of aggressive. She was like, and that was before she even knew I was gay. So the person behind the camera was like, did you just say you was gay? And she was like, girl, bitch, I've been doing this for years. I'm fully there now. She's like, bitch, I done stopped on the corner of gay and made them right. Yo, this was the funniest part of that episode.
Rating her kiss aggressive. And this is before she knew I was gay. Girl.
You just said you're gay?
I mean, damn, I'm a year in now, bitch. I think I'm full-blown lesbian. We've had fluid. We is at the end of the gay, and I done got off and made a right turn.
Thank you, Portia, for giving us the funniest part of this episode. When I tell you, you know what? Sometimes Portia be doing the most, and Portia, she has some real scandalous ways about her, but the girl is a key. Like, you cannot help but love Portia. The girl is a key, honey. She is a good time. I was like, She said, bitch, I've been doing this for a year, honey. I think I'm full, but I'm gay, honey. I'm gay. So now, Cynthia asks if anyone else been a woman. So Kay says, yes, she's been in a relationship with a woman before. You know, she said, but the woman left her for her hairdresser. She said she brought the bitch to Atlanta. She thought they was going to be together. The girl ended up jumping on top of her car, trying to fight her because she was talking the guy still, and she ended up with her hairdresser, honey. So, yes. So now Kelly lets them know she encountered a woman with her husband as well. Shamia lets them know she kissed the girl. Kelly says she don't like sharing. She get jealous. Shamia says she kissed the girl before, but it was closed mouth, and she watched lesbian porn. So that's when Kate was like, yes, I love Tasty Black, which I guess is like a lesbian porn site. I don't watch lesbian porn, but I guess I'll go check it out because, you know, I've watched lesbian porn before and found myself enjoying it, so we'll try again. So Drew brings up, she's like, Shamia, didn't Portia say last year that you kissed the girl? And I think it was Candy. So Shamia was like, no. And Drew was like, oh, Portia said that. And Portia was like, girl, you done messed up the mood, honey. You done messed up the mood. So Pinky says to them, you know, she had an interesting ride on the way there. She rode there with Drew and Angela, and she said she actually enjoyed the ride. So they're like, what you enjoy? So she was like, you know, we had a chance to talk. And what I see that there's just a miscommunication, you know, in this group, like, people just are not they're not understanding each other. So that's when Angela decides to confront Shamia about her comment to Amari saying, you know, Shamia, did you say something to my daughter? And Shamia's like, I met your daughter, but I ain't saying nothing to her. So Angela's like, you made a comment that could have been offensive to me. And Shamia was like, you know, I do think your daughter is nicer than you. And Angela was like, but don't say nothing to my daughter. Why you saying something to my daughter? You don't know what we going through. Don't include the kids. And I agree with that. Don't include the kids. But Shamia did apologize. She did apologize. Drew says she feels when it comes to Shamia, it's always a misdirection. Whenever Shamia is arguing with somebody else or talking to somebody else, she really wants to be saying this stuff to Portia. It's like she wants something from Portia she's not getting. So Shamia, she decides to pull out her receipts now because she has the receipts from the text messages from Ashley calling Angela a liar. So she asked Pinky to read it. So when Pinky read it, Pinky was like, I'm going to read it in this such and such accent. And Portia was like, girl, she had like a country accent. So you should read it in my voice. So Kelly in her confessional was like, Portia claims she don't want to have nothing to do with nothing, but you over here giving acting directions. So now Pinky convinces to read the text exchange between Ashley and Shamia, where Ashley's calling Angela a liar and telling Shamia Angela is weird because she's trying to get information on her and dig up dirt on her. So yeah, so Angela lets them know that she called Ashley and whatever. I don't know what that phone call proved, but yeah, she did call her, but Shamia's receipts are receipting. Angela's not so much. So yeah, they're going back and forth for a while. It starts to get nasty now because like I said, Angela is still accusing Shamia of sleeping with George. Shamia saying she didn't. Angela's like, I never told you. Ashley told me that. I'm the one who said it or whatever. So Pinky is asking her, well, did he tell you that? And she's like, no, we never had that conversation. So Pinky is just like, girl, like, they all looking at Angela like, girl, you're lying. Like, girl. Even Cynthia was like, girl, if the person who wife it is saying it's not true, honey, then what are we doing here? It's no case, okay? For real. So, yeah, I don't know what Angela is going back and forth for. It's clear you was trying to get dirt on Shamia, and it didn't work. So, sorry, Angela. It's not working for you, honey. This is feeling like the little stunt you pulled at the finale last season. So they go back and forth. It starts to get nasty. Shamia calling her a lying ass bitch. She said that you made this up just like you made up the thing with Phaedra last year. Angela is calling her an angry bird and calling her a lapdog. Like, I started barking. So they're going back up. So Portia is letting them know, like, ladies, we gonna get kicked out. Like, y'all doing too much. Like, let's not waste this money. Let's enjoy ourselves. We got some things we gonna talk about, but at some point, like, we have to move on. So, you know, let's just enjoy the rest of the night. And Phaedra advises them, like, child, y'all wanna leave the children out of it. So Pinky is like, and marriages. Phaedra was like, honey, well, if they participate, it's fair game, but we gonna leave the children out of it. That's all I'm saying. So they all like, all right. So they enjoying their soup. And, you know, as they doing this, I'm watching K. Michelle, and I'm looking like, what is up with K. Michelle here? The back tie here was all messy and just, I don't know, like, the back tie here be mad bulky, like a helmet, and it was just real messy. I was like, hey, you over here talking about Portia's hair, go naked, honey. You might need to get you some go naked. So the final scene of the episode is they get back to Yelmerton House now. So we see Phaedra and Portia chilling in their room. Cynthia and Drew come to join them. Drew was showing the girls some blogs and headlines about Kelly's. This is around the time Kelly's ex-husband was suing Bravo. Yes, he's suing them for some, I forgot the amount they said, but yeah, he's suing for a lot. So yeah, so Kelly comes in the room and they asking Kelly like, yeah, they telling Kelly like, yeah, we just saw some headlines and blogs or whatever, like, so they asking her like, are you okay? And she's like, you know, I'll be trying to keep my composure, but at some point it's just like, I get tired of it. It's but how much I can take. So she actually starts to break down and become vulnerable with these girls. She was like, you know, I feel like I'm always fighting. I'm fighting in my marriage. I'm fighting for my thing. I'm fighting in my friend circle. Fighting for this divorce or whatever. I said marriage, but so Portia's like fighting with me. So Kelly is like, I don't want to fight with you no more. So Kelly says to Portia, like, you know, we had our differences, but, you know, I feel like we have some similarities that we can learn off of each other from. And I don't always want us to come together when it's negativity. I want us to come together when it's positivity as well. And she says to Portia, I said some things that bothered you, that, you know, made you feel away. And I apologize for all of that. I do. And I was like, oh, look at Kelly putting on her big girl panties. Yes. So, because mind you, as she was talking and getting vulnerable with them, Portia had her hand on her leg or whatever. So Portia was like, you know, I don't want to fight with you either. So Portia was like, you know, Cynthia and Portia and them is letting Kelly know, listen, girl, we go through what we go through, but at the end of the day, we're all a sisterhood. We all want to see you win. We want to see you come through this. You can come to us and lean on us, girl. We got you. We here for you. And honestly, that made Kelly kind of happy to hear that. So Drew was like, yeah, you know, I do want to see you win, because not for nothing, but I'm going through, I don't know where I'm going to be living there. I don't know where I'm gonna be at, what's going on. So it's like a part of me, I want to see you win because it'll motivate me to win. So Portia is like, you know, we make jokes about my prenup and all that, but why this house was so important to me because this is my home with me and my daughter. And even if we get put out of here, we're gonna always have something because house, you know. So they're all giving each other some motivation. Cynthia is letting them know, girl, we're going to get past this. Kelly is telling Drew, just believe you're going to be there. Don't worry about it. So this was a real sisterly moment. I was like, oh, okay, yes. They was all giving each other that motivation. Phaedra decided to give them a word from the Bible verse or overacting with it and fake crying while she's singing it. I was just like, girl. But yeah, the episode did end on a good note. They was like, we gonna come tomorrow, we gonna be ladies. And Portia was like, everybody go to their room and masturbate. And that's how the episode ended. And you know what? It ended on a good note because by the time the episode ended, I had a smile on my face. I was smiling at the end of the episode like, oh, this is too cute. I really enjoyed that. Yes. As far as the overall episode, though, it wasn't that exciting to me. I didn't understand this whole situation with Angela and Shamia. I don't know why it's being made such a big mess. I don't like when I'm confused. I just feel like the drama is like, girl, we in Scotland, all right? Nobody got time for this. Leave that in Atlanta. So I'm going to give this episode a C, but because they're in Scotland and they had that good sisterly moment, I'm going to give it a C+, all right? Let me know what you guys think. Am I being too hard now? Like, I don't know. I just feel like it was average, okay? The MVP of the episode, we're going to give it to frickin' Frack for throwing this trip, planning this trip. Frickin' Frack, I'm going to give y'all the MVPs of this episode. But I'm not going to lie, Shamia and Angela bought it. Y'all bought it, so yeah. We got a lot going on this episode as far as, you know, who bought it, all right? Everybody contributed this episode. I'm going to say that. Guys, let me know what you thought of the episode, all right? Do you think that Angela's doing too much, or are you okay with it? Whose side are you on, all right? Like I said, I prefer, if I had to choose who I wanted to see leave the show and who could stay, I wouldn't mind if Shamia left and I want to see Angela stay. But in this particular situation, I'm on Team Shamia. I'm on Shamia's side. I'm not going to lie. Even though I don't like her, I'm going to be on the side of right. And Angela, what you're doing is that wrong. Dead wrong in my Biggie voice, okay? Notorious B.I.G. voice. Yeah. Anyway, guys, if you happen to like this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons. If you want to leave a comment, go for it. I hope you enjoyed this double recap. I hope this one sounds better than the first one, all right? Also, make sure you hit the notification bell because tomorrow I will be dropping my double recap for Real Housewives of Rhode Island reunion parts 1 and 2, and I'll be doing my season report card, giving my awards for the Shade Assassin, the Reed Queen, the funniest housewife, my favorite house husband, yes. All right, so make sure y'all check that double recap out tomorrow, and you will know if you hit the notification bell. In the meantime, guys, anyway, today is Tuesday, June 30th, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.